Good morning, this is Madera Canyon, a popular trail in the Santa Rita Mountains, looking down at Green Valley and the Santa Cruz River and the Sonoyta Mountains in the distance. And I'm going to break here to talk some anime. Dallas. In the future, Earth has turned to mining the moon to obtain the natural resources it's already exhausted back home. Not far from one lunar mining colony, there is a mysterious half-buried artifact. It's clearly not human technology. Perhaps it's a crashed alien spacecraft, or the relic of some ancient lunar civilization. The colonists call it Dallas. By an amazing coincidence, that's the title of this 1984 sci-fi OVA series. You'd think an alien artifact would be crawling with scientists and archaeologists trying to unlock its secrets. Not so. The colonists consider it taboo and just let it sit out there, a mystery and legend. For most of the anime, it's pretty much ignored by the story, too. Meanwhile, there's some labor unrest at the lunar colony. The Earth government treats the lunar miners as forced laborers. After all, they can't exactly run off and get another job on the moon. Labor leader Doug and his band of revolutionaries are using the mining machinery as weapons to disrupt the work and the lives of Earthling management. Recently, the Earth sent a new commander, Alex, to straighten things out. Alex has decided that the miners are revolting, and his security forces are corrupt idiots. A poor craftsman always blames his tools. Meanwhile, Shun is just a clever lunar miner trying to get along. Rachel is his longtime neighbor and friend, stuck in that classic we're-just-friend anime relationship. When colony manager Alex's girlfriend, Melinda, comes to visit from Earth, Shun and Rachel get caught up in one of Doug's attacks, and Melinda ends up a hostage in the hands of the lunar revolutionaries. The Earth government reacts with renewed countermeasures, and soon things start to escalate. This will eventually involve Shun and Rachel in the conflict, because there isn't going to be much neutral ground.
Alex!
Detain that group over there! Rachel! I haven't done anything. You can't do this. I've done nothing wrong. Let go of me. Come back.
Of course, given the video's title, you can be pretty sure that the alien artifact will eventually have something to do with the story, though the OVA takes its sweet time getting around to it. Dallas is a mediocre sci-fi story, even for an old 1984 anime. The Spacers versus Earth government storyline, and concentrating on the points of view of both sides, was reminiscent of the Mobile Suit Gundam and Zeta Gundam series that were then popular. The alien artifact was an echo of Macross. But the characters are Dallas's biggest weakness. Shun is supposed to be the emergent hero, but he's such a dork, it's hard to really care about him. And right from the start, the series tries to spread its focus too wide, bringing in Alex and Melinda and Doug, as well as Shun and Rachel, leaving them all flat and underdeveloped, and so not really interesting in anyone. It might have been better to have focused just on Shun and Rachel for the start. For their part, the rebel leader and the base manager are both supposed to be reasonable opponents, neither being an evil villain of the piece. The shading of their personalities is about as subtle as one of the mining excavators. Studio Pierrot's artwork offered nothing special either. It looks visually similar to any of the TV series of the period, Macross, Gundam, Orgus, take your pick. Despite the OVA format, this was TV series quality animation. The designs were strictly conventional. The moon colony looks like, well, just about every other sci-fi anime moon colony you've seen. The music is also painfully familiar with classic action beats and melodic transitions, and nothing to really distinguish it. It lacks only the deep male tenor voice singing an opening credit. Dallas was originally released as a set of 3 OVAs and a special, or 4 parts total. It clearly didn't reach a satisfying conclusion. There was a lot more story to be told about the relationship of the moon miners to the Earth government, and especially about the alien artifact. What small ending it did reach seemed more in the way station on the way to a larger story that didn't get told. Presumably it didn't continue because of poor sales. In the English-speaking world, Celebrity Entertainment, on their 4Kids label, edited Dallas into a single film as Battle for Moon Station Dallas, a good deal shorter and very badly dubbed. In fact, it's a strong contender for worst anime dub ever.
I am expecting a very important guest from Earth, and she is arriving tomorrow.
There were two modest historical footnotes to Dallas, neither having to do with quality entertainment. Most notably, back in 1984, it's generally considered to have been the first direct-to-video OVA. It wasn't a financial success, but it was first. Part of the failure was artistic. It's just not a very interesting anime. Part was timing, since Betamax, VHS, and Laserdisc were still battling for video format supremacy at the time. 2 years later, Megazone 2-3, Ixer 1, and Area 88 became modest successes and set off an avalanche of OVAs. Maybe the trick was to put a number at the end of the title. The other thing worth noting about Dallas is that it was an early effort by director Mamoru Oshii, who later became known for the Patlabor OVAs and movies and the Ghost in the Shell movies. However, creative control of the project, concept and story, belonged to Gatchaman's director Hisayuki Toriumi. 2 years later, he'd direct the much more successful Area 88 OVAs. I give Dallas 2 stars, and one of those is just for its minor historical significance. Everything about this video is bland and generic. It wasn't entertaining 25 years ago, and it certainly hasn't improved with age. This video is best left as a footnote in the history of anime, its only selling point being a business model.
Huh. What the hell is it?
Thanks for watching.